And in the bottom left-hand side, it is your boy, Nice.
And in the upper right, in the red, he's now for the new Dragon Kites of Gaming. He's your reigning world champion. It's Oliveira. Okay. It's a very small thing, Cats, but what do you make out of this barracks right next to the command center? I mean, not putting it in the wall like that.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. It's a little bit easier to cover against, I guess, the harassing probe, right? Outside of that, I mean, you're not gonna have a wall off early on. Maybe an opening, or maybe trying to bait adepts into the main or something like that. If you're very comfortable on the follow up, not sure.
Do you think this might be a tell about like extra barracks getting added in, like kind of building into some sort of 3 racks or something? I mean, it is Ancient Cistern, but I don't know. I'm trying to go too big brain on this one, but certainly it is a bit out of the ordinary as the Reaper pops out, and Nice is going to commit to this Zealot across the map. So with things as they are, and certainly the natural delayed just a little bit by the probe, this Zealot should definitely get across the map before that command center's done.
Yeah. So an interesting response here from Nice is going to be the Zealot, right? Like the units are going to be a little bit slower to reinforce there, since Oliveira has that tucked away barracks, and probably an Adept to follow up, so that'll be Nice as well. Nice has to be careful. The Reaper will kill the probe off to the side, and now rerouting the Zealot to the right hand side where the probe just died, anticipating that Oliveira would move out of that area and clear it, probably towards the middle, though Oliveira is going north. So the Zealot has an opportunity here to delay the command center or the bunker, probably going after the bunker first just because it's in close vicinity. Now can turn its attention to the SCV building the command center, as it's always going to get kited by the Marine and the Reaper. And this, ideally in his mind, buys enough time for the Adept to show up and cause further delays.
Yeah, technically all he needs is one swipe on that Zealot. I mean, the Adept kills things a lot easier, but because Oliveira pulled all his wounded SCVs back into the main, this Adept is going to get nothing done. The command center really not delayed all that much. The bunker now complete, so Nice goes for the harass, the Zealot early on. 100 minerals committed to denying Oliveira's economy, and it really doesn't accomplish all that much. If we want to look at kind of resource, like mining differential, it briefly Nice kind of took that lead, but Cats, I don't know that was really worth it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty small exchanges for the time being. We see also a peek into Oliveira's Wolof was with a factory without the add-on first for the first shade-in. Now kind of repositioning to get the add-on. And yeah, gets a single mine, so that's just part of his build, I assume. I'm curious why you thought it could be 3 barracks or something like that. Like, why would that be the big brain move?
I'm just thinking from the barracks positioning, where generally you kind of put one in the wall or something, and the other 2 are hidden next to the command center. So it triggers so human brains, right? We look at patterns, and it triggered the part of my brain that says, this is where when you're looking at a 3 racks, this is where one of the barracks goes. It's really not much more than that. Although letting the Adept in the main base here, that's a little bit more obnoxious. A couple SCVs go down before the eventual death, but actually, as I say eventual death, it's a much more prolonged one, and there we go. But full scat in the main base, Cats. Three SCVs go down, and we talked about the Zealot not getting much done, the initial Adept pressure not really delaying all that much, but I still take that. He's going to be very happy about that one.
Yeah, that was pretty nice, and I think that Oliveira does let the Adept shade go in, maybe to potentially make use of his one Mudo mine that was hidden in the mineral line, but it doesn't actually end up going off, and that means the Adept, like you said, stays alive a little bit longer. And Nice with a very nice poke to start here. Blink is almost finished as well, so with an opportunity perhaps to make something happen. No high ground spotter for the time being, though.
Yeah, it's on its way over, right? The Observer now done, but Nice again, yeah, trying to maybe snowball his pressure just a little bit more as he takes that 3rd base behind. And while we wait for Nice to maybe get damage on the bunker, blink in the main base, something like that, it begs the question: where does Nice go from here? Is it going to be charge? And actually, there we go, charge is on the way, or was it going to be some sort of a Colossus pressure? And for now, Nice very heavy on the great gateway count, but Cats, those of us that are, you know, Nice connoisseurs, that shouldn't surprise us. Nice has always loved his low-tech styles.
Yeah, the Raven, however, is going to spot the Observer and shoot it away on the side of Nice. Now he finds a little spot that he can go up and blink onto the main. Gonna find a supply depot and try to take it. If there was a 5th Stalker there, that would have been easy pickings. Still does get away with all of the Stalkers, so a little bit sad. It's gonna be nice that the 5th Stalker didn't blink in, right? At least would have gotten a supply depot for his troubles.
And I really like Oliveira's positioning there with those Marines as well. He hugged the ramp, or he hugged the cliff to try to get... tried to make it a little harder for Nice to blink down, or at least make sure he could maintain damage on it on the high ground, on the low ground. Didn't work out, but hey, you know what? Small little bit of micro things that are attempting to find Oliveira an edge. But behind this, yeah, again, the additional gateways getting added in for Nice. And now this begs the question. Does Oliveira actually want to move out here? It is, again, it's low tech coming out of Nice. It's going to be a lot of charge lots, a lot of gateways. And you got to figure, as Oliveira's, you know, pretty heavily supply blocked for a little bit, you have to figure, Cats, that Oliveira wants to figure this out. And that's a nice scan of the natural. Sees all the gateways coming down. You got to figure that this is just one of those games where you just want to stay home, build your third base. Don't give Nice the fight that he's looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like you're saying, right, he has a low-tech army. He has +1 on the way, which should be done by the time that these units cross the map. Oh, and he's actually going to find 2 of these medevacs. At least one will go down for sure. The second one also not being paid attention to means no opportunity there for the medevacs to get fast. Another Marauder will get picked up before he can go inside the bunker, and the bunker under threat. SCVs have to be pulled, and this was a beautiful move from Nice to start things off. The 2 medevacs on the other side haven't found anything either, and the first Widowmine will not even get to burrow, so things are looking very good for Nice so far. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Also, auto turrets get dropped. The Raven is still alive, and that drop in the natural, I thought it wasn't going to get anything done on the recall, but it's actually getting a lot here. Stalkers are going to go down. Actually, all of them are going to go down. Pick up into the main base. 7 probes hit the deck, and that clears room for the 3rd, but no, Oliveira's going to back up. Oh, Widowmine. Hey, there we go. A little bit more damage. And Zealots are going to try to chase this down. Tanks in the rear. So with no medevacs here, there we go. Oh, tries to pick up, tries to save. Stalker 1 shot, but needs 2. And the tanks, they're going to stay alive for the moment. And now the chase here. Cats, this is... Oliveira got more than I thought he was going to, but this is getting a... Oh, actually, as I say that. Nice tries to face tank this, and that's not going to work out super well. Stalker on the right side. Those force fields are fantastic, and the tanks are going down. This is getting sloppy.
Yeah, I mean, Oliveira kind of doing the best thing that he could. They're kind of like retreating, like you said, does a lot more damage than I expected to as well with those medevacs. Retreats, knowing that Nice should be pouncing on his army on the other side. Nice does pounce on the army, or tries to anyway. But then on the way up to this cliff, Oliveira does a really good job of just holding a concave, and that was the best opportunity that he had to hold. Nice trickles in with a few units first, and that ends up obviously not working out. But then when the rest of the army arrives, he still has a lot of punch to it. So yeah, I mean, it's decent trades on either side. I think that Oliveira, given how the game started, should be happy with the position.
Yeah, I think so. He's got his 3rd base up now. He obviously triple mules on the orbital. His opponent, only 57 probes. I mean, granted, Nice is not taking gas on his 3rd base just yet, so that is pretty much full mining. As a scan goes down, that's like the 3rd or 4th observer that's died this game. And now, the Warp Prism sharking around just a little bit, trying to maybe drop Zealots on top. And the Widowmine from downtown, it's really, really nice. So the Zealots, they don't want to run around that corner. They get choked off. And hey, those force fields, actually, they don't allow the Zealots to make contact. They trap the army, sure, but that's not going to work out super well. And now pressure on the right side, but doesn't really seem to be enough to kill this 4th base, at least not yet.
Yeah, on the other side, however, I see a blue dot. What is that? Is that a Warp Prism that's going into the main, I believe? And yeah, that's really nice counter pressure here on the side of Nice. Drops 1 Zealot onto the 3rd base of Oliveira as well, which is going to help out things quite a bit. The Zealots are causing mayhem, and Oliveira is actually forced to retreat on the other side as well, but he has gained a substantial supply lead for the time being.
Yeah, and the Warp Prism went down as well, so that an opportunity to additional warp ins and cause more chaos not really there. And this army actually right now, Nice has to run away so quickly. The force fields have to be really good, and they're just not. It's not going to block the wall off at all, and now 1 Immortal goes down. 2nd one barely stays alive. And, okay, no, that was just the damage early on. And at this point, well, Zealots, the Warp Prism was dead, but they find their way into the natural nonetheless. But the bunker's still there. And now at this point, Oliveira, his push on the other side. Cats, oh, the shutdown on the Disruptor as well. It's just not going to find value. This fourth base is dead and gone. Oh, Oliveira, he's playing so well right now.
Yeah, just mechanically really, really good. If we just look at the trade straight up, this game seemed to be going okay for Nice. But on the back end, it seems like Oliveira has just done everything that he needed to do to push Nice to the brink of extinction here in this first game.
Yeah, I think the big thing was losing that Warp Prism in the main. Suddenly, Oliveira really didn't have to focus on all the problems as another Disruptor goes down here. And with the Liberators as well, I mean, Disruptors, they can't even get in range of the army. Not really. So now it's the third base. That's under threat. Widowmines continue to kill things, and this just slow rally of Terran on Ancient Cistern is going to do it. Oliveira. It was dicey at times, but he moves up one.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Nice did a really good job to put himself a little bit ahead in the early game, kind of finding the damage that he needed to find. But I think for me, it was the two medevacs at the natural, right? Which had very, I mean, it's just that sort of balance where if you have one or two extra units, then it tilts in your favor. But instead, you lose all of the units and you lose some probes, and your opponent has to pull from the other side where otherwise he would be able to overwhelm whatever you have left, right? So just with a little bit better split of the army there for Nice in that instance, I think he might have been able to just shut down the attack from Oliveira, and Oliveira that had a late third. And Oliveira that would have struggled, I think, to kind of establish that third if Nice was able to clean him up on the other side and just go on counterattack, right? At the very least, you can't mine from that third, and then Nice just snowballs out of control.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think you're very right on that. The Warp Prism then losing that was just really just the icing on the cake. Nice prevented Oliveira from having to sit there defensively. He could just bring his army together, and that charge lot composition is dependent on playing from ahead, which Nice was no longer at that time, and B, either fighting parts of the Terran army or having big surrounds. And at that point, there was no opportunity for either. Upgrades, actually, I think were in favor of Oliveira at that point as well. And while Nice is really good with the charge lots, you do need to hit those two criteria to have a good spot. So here's the question, though. Cats, as we move into game 2, do you want to see Nice do something like that again? I mean, there were certainly times where he had opportunity, or do we want to see something different?
No, I want to see Nice to try to bring the aggression and try to be cheeky as much as he can, because I think on the back end, Oliveira is just cleaner. That is the story that we cannot tell the viewers, right? It's just like if you're watching maybe the player camera, it would be a little bit more apparent, but these players are so fast and so good that it's very difficult to make up for just the smallest details in SCV production, and just how quick they are to shift screens and how good they are at focus firing and just stacking their SCVs and all of the basic things, right, that players have to do, like how quick are you to return your workers back to mining, or dealing with very small harassment and that sort of thing. And on that front, I feel like Oliveira just pulls ahead of Nice by default, right? So I think that Nice has to be tricky. I think that Nice has to do something to mitigate for that. I think if he plays a straight up game, he's just gonna get outpaced little by little.
Yeah, certainly. And let's see if he will get outpaced, because game 2, well, we're already in.
Right. And trailing 0-1 here is your boy, Knight. What is this team called?
Starlight Twinkle.
Starlight Twinkle.
Best team name. And in the upper right, for Dragon Kites of Gaming, again the reigning world champion. Oh, he played so well that last game. Oliveira. Oliveira. You know, Cats, I think you're right when we talk about how we want to see Nice play. Oliveira, he won his world championship. Off his macro, his ability to play those big, expansive mid games, those incredible late games. I mean, sure, that SCV pull timing versus hero was just brilliant game sense, but in general, right, it was that macro play. And while Nice is a solid macro Protoss, I don't know that I hold him to the same regard. So yeah, I think you're right. Get damage on Oliveira, force him to be uncomfortable. don't allow him to play the game that he wants to play. But in all honesty, I'm not sure that that is within Nice's wheelhouse. I mean, again, he is, if Haas is on one end of the crazy spectrum, Nice is very much on the other.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can be on the macro side of things while still being a little bit tricky with, you know, like the smaller maneuvers. I think we saw some of that in the last game. So that's what I would like, right? Like, we're not gonna turn him into Haas and have him do something absolutely crazy, but he has to outsmart Oliveira, I think, on some stage of this game. He has to trick him. He has to do something cheeky.
You tell me he has to Haas? He has to outsmart Oliveira?
No, he can't. He can't do the Haas. But look, I mean, gets in the probe scout, right? Like, that was nice. That was cute. Yeah. Like, hides the probe in the natural, gets in before the second depot is up.
Yeah, very
right
cheeky.
After the Reaper leaves.
Yeah. And this is actually, it is going to be very different here as the Stargate is coming down. You know, I tend to really like Stargate play. Well, actually, Mara recently said that, look, if you are not going Stargate against Terran, you're just putting yourself behind. And I tend to like it. It's safe against a lot of things. Oliveira is not really like a 3-rack type of player, regardless of how weird his barracks positioning in game 1 was. I mean, it's just kind of not within how we expect him to play. So getting a Stargate, either this is Oracle Blink or whether this is just going in kind of Phoenix behind that, it gives Nice a lot of agency on the map. It gives him that ability to set the tempo that we said earlier that he...
Phoenix, I would guess, right?
Maybe.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay. But it gives him... Okay, Widowmine goes off. Oh, he didn't split the Adept, so he gets one, but you really don't have to take the damage on the second.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because he gets the full scout. I guess he doesn't see the reactor on the factory, so that tells him it's Marines predominantly. If it was a reactor on the factory and expected mines, perhaps then Phoenix would have been the better choice, but he is gonna go for the Oracle. Nice does a nice job of denying the delay in the natural expansion on location, at least for the time being, so that's nice. And Phoenix will be the follow-up. This Oracle will look for some damage. Not sure that he'll be able to find much, especially with the first Adept kind of going down for free.
And this is awkward as well, but yeah, because losing that first Adept, you Widowmine. Oh, Adepts actually find the way in, and that's actually a lot of friendly fire there on the SCVs. So 4 SCVs go down. A mule not going to go down here, but we talked about how he wasn't really going to get all that much done. 4 SCVs for the cost of, what was that, like 1 Adept? Yeah,
that was really nice. I mean, I feel like the damage split on the next SCV over the mule as well was a little bit of a mistake from Nice, right? Like, because you have 2 very low, well, 1 SCV and 1 mule on the other side, so you would assume one of them could have fallen, much like this Banshee might, and that's a nice pick of 2.
Oh man, this is going from bad to worse here for Oliveira. He's not going to have that pressure, and this was not a harassing Banshee. It's an all-in Banshee, right? This is approximating a big gate push. You got tanks, you got SCVs, you got Marines, and this Oracle can get damage on this tank done before the Marines are here, but he's not going to go for it. Here's the question, though. Charge is halfway done. We're going to have bunkers ready by that time. And having Phoenix or Nice, but one is so low. Is this going to try to lift? Okay, Zealots get on top of the tanks here. Oracle out of energy. 1 tank goes down. Has he done it here?
This looks very good. I think he's doing it. I don't know about this next 2 Zealots, though. I feel like they were never going to accomplish anything. Even going after the Marines with a Phoenix was really nice there for Nice. As now the battery overcharge will buy him a little bit of time. How many gateways do we have? Just the 2?
4.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good number.
And no more SCVs here, so that bunker is going to take a lot longer to complete as they get rallied over. There's the lift. Oh, yeah, he lifts the SCV just to make sure this bunker does not go down. But at this point, I mean, it's 2 Stalkers. It's 2 Oracles, or 2 Phoenix, excuse me. The army of Nice doesn't really seem to be growing all that much. Shield battery overcharge has already been popped, and now with pylons going down, it's only 2 gate production. So Oliveira, I mean, that was almost a hold there for Nice.
No, I think it still might be, right? Like, because reinforcements are still very far away for Oliveira, and there is no finishing that bunker. So I feel like, I mean, if Nice stops bleeding out units, maybe just wait for your next warp-in. Okay, now he sees that Oliveira is going to abandon the location, so he will pounce on the tank. And I think this is the right pull for Oliveira, because the next set of warp-ins was going to happen, and then Nice would have been able to break on out and take favorable trades there. So Really well done by him on killing all the SCVs and just methodically picking off the push apart.
Okay, so the Phoenix get on top of this medevac and wait, okay, 4 dead Marines. So 4 dead.
Very clever. Yeah, very nice usage of the Phoenix liftoffs as well, right? Just to guarantee the kill on the medevac. It's very unusual that you would pick off both of those at the same time because you can't kill them. So it was just allowing the other 2 Phoenix to finish off that medevac. And that is the kind of move that Nice needs to continue to try to make. There is a Banshee that's cloakless on the other side and doesn't even stop at the natural, which means the Phoenix are gonna have time to get back and pick it off. Things are looking good for Nice again, but you know, like I say that and then you look at the numbers and Oliveira is just clean, man.
Yeah, and man, that Banshee definitely had an angle on the left side of that mineral line. We're kind of, I don't know, 2-3 more probes. Regardless, it did force the Phoenix back. It did force really the army of Nice back in general. Cyclones, they're getting lock on, but no scan, so they're gonna stay alive. Now, here's the thing, right? 5 barracks are now done. Combat shields halfway done. Stim halfway done. And concussive shells halfway done. Oliveira's army is going to be much more powerful in about a minute, give or take. It's not there right now, but Nice, he also understands that it's breaking a 2-base Terran with a bunker with these tanks is going to be really hard. So instead, yeah, he's got the 3rd base, but more importantly, Storm is halfway done, and Cats, Ghosts, they are so far away from this game.
Yeah, a Warp Prism as well. Is there any Templars already on the field? There is 2 already gathering energy, a 3rd one being warped in. So this could bode very, very well for Nice. I really am a fan of his play in this series and in this game. Like, again, if we look at just the traits on the screen and just the decision making on the screen, it is so impressive what Nice has been able to accomplish. Unfortunately for him, he's always just trailing a little bit behind because, you know, I think Oliveira is just cleaner. He's just better, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, his decision making has been superb, and this Storm is not the exception.
That was sick there from Oliveira, leading with them, boosting the medevacs forward to maintain vision, like just pulling one of them back when it takes a little bit too much damage. Small things, but he almost killed off a couple Phoenix, which really would have been useful for this push. But yeah, now Storm is done. And this bio is going to stim in here. Where are the High Templar? They're not with us. Oh, they're... Okay, no.
Should be in the Warp
There we
Prism.
go.
There they are! Oh, massive Storms! Beautiful job from Nice, but the problem for him is the rest of his army is predominantly just Zealots running into Widow Mines, and there's a little bit too much left over for Oliveira, who is looking to close out this game just like that. That's so sad.
Oh, man, those Storms were big, but the Widow Mines were just as. And Oliveira, he qualifies for the playoffs now with a high seed. It goes 3-0.